My video preview. Could tweet it out. Hey, we're back. Let's get to it with unwrapping this model, baby. Sorry. I gotta reading that. I don't know why any turtles on my mind today. They are. Got a little Michelangelo up on my shelf, staring down at me. With my boy Andrew. Oh god. Some brown rice tea. It's not very good, but it's pretty good. My mom got me this brown rice tea one time. It's the first time I had it. I don't remember the brand. It was so good. Other brown rice teas are almost trash. Let's see here. The stream out. Tweet out. So we got our model here. We're feeling pretty good about it, I think. I looked at it a few times. It's looking sharp. Really simple, but good shapes. I wonder if I should set it up. Oh, I think I should. So up here, this is set up to be split much more easily. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but just in case, maybe it is a big deal. I'm going to delete these faces. X only edges and faces. There better be a vert in there, dog. There's not. You lied to me. So. Edges. There we go. We'll delete this edge too. We'll bring this back. Make a face there. Subdivide it. Control 7 to see bottom view. Period to focus in on it. And do select this vert, Shift S, cursor to selected. And we're going to do 3D cursor as our pivot point, and we're going to do scale X 0, so that slid in to the same X position as this. We could have gone to N and looked that up. It might have not been a whole number. It kind of isn't. Well, it kind of is, but it's a fraction. It's a fraction. Dialed oak. Looks like we'll probably need another one here. So delete these. Do it by edges again. It's like we only need to do that one. Alright, good. Boom, bam, face, W, subdivide. So this is me kind of like going back on my previous steps, but it's okay. It's okay. Scale Y 0, because it's that same vert we're lining up with. Boom, 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 boom. Face. And what I'm doing here is I'm just making it a little bit easier for when we're unwrapping and stuff. For when I want to split this and make it modular, because I have this thought that I'll take just this part right here and this part in the middle and split it up. That way I can use these assets in a few different ways. I do need to delete this. Edges. Boom, 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 boom. Faced. Boom. I say, press the F key, and I always say face, because it makes a face. Like, a polygon face, but I think it means fill. Oh well. We're also listening to a OC Remix tribute album to Turtles in Time and Hyperstone Heist. Hit it up on that YouTube and on that ocremix.org. Alright. Let's hit up the scene real quick. It's looking good. So I guess we'll just start unwrapping. Check the chat. Anybody here? Only people who didn't leave? Oh, nobody's here. That's alright. Take a sip of tea. Oh, delish. Mostly because there's tons of sugar. This original brown rice tea that I had was so strong. This stuff is baby mode. It's like weaker than green tea. And this is the best one I've tried. I found a few in the States. And the original one my mom got in the States. Or, I say the States, but, you know, just locally. Like, yeah, in the States. But then I ordered this one. It's from Amazon, but it, you know, has Japanese packaging. But I think it was already imported anyway. It's not great either, but it is the best one. But it's just so weak. Little history lesson on brown rice tea. It was like peasant food, like they would cut their tea with brown rice. But then it ended up being like this, you know, thing enjoyed by everybody. And it's good. It also takes me back to playing Ultima Underworld, because when I first had it, this wasn't the first time playing Ultima Underworld, but I'll play it every few years. One of my favorite games. And it just takes me back there. Oops. And destroy that. Pull this out, make a new window, press T to close that up. Click here, choose UV Image Editor. Go back to our 3D view and press A. You'll see we're still half and half here. I'm just going to mirror this. If I hate it later, I'll redo this inside part, but it'll look fine, I think. We have some nice trim in here. Again, I might have some plants sitting on here. And if we stack them up, they're going to be hanging from the top too. It's going to look dope. I'm excited. So A, just right away we're just going to hit unwrap and see what it makes. So we have all this, a bunch of nonsense. We're going to do edge select. We're going to... I had a thought and now I don't like it. I thought it was a good idea, but it's not. One I do know about is doing this edge. They're often unseen. We're going to grab all these. Really, really like this song. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to make it connect to the bottom part, but... might make the overall shape too big, and really you don't see the bottom enough. I mean, you'll see this edge, but not this like whole edge like situation. I mean, I guess you would, but just it's not enough to keep it together. Like the bigger, more coherent, like the connected faces are, you know, it's going to be harder to make it fit in your UV space, so it better be important. Whoops. You can do Control E, mark seam, but it's slower than pressing space, mark seam, so we'll type in mark seam. First step, obviously, is slower, but now we can just hit space, and when you press space, it leaves the last one that you used. So again, we'll just undo that. Space, type in mark seam, press enter, and we have it here. So we'll unwrap that. So that got pulled off already, and there's going to be no stretch there, which is great on that right-hand segment. Now, just like, really, if we're feeling nuts, this could be mirrored, especially if we're going to split it into a different component. Not mirrored, but like it could share space. This part's going to be weird, though. So I'm really thinking maybe, because we can almost go right across here, except we can't do it here. So this gets in the way. Like I'm thinking just go straight across, but you can see, looking at the UVs over here, this part where it pops out makes it harder. So I guess we'll just start with this. I'm not sure we'll end with this, but it'll help us think about it. Such a jam. Mark seam. A unwrap. Okay. Excuse me. That's really not by itself. Oh, I forgot to... No, I did. What was that? I'm so confused. Why is that? Oh, it's over here. I just missed it. Okay, I thought it like didn't come off. I was like, what? So you can see how similar this is. Scale x -1. Grab on the x. You can line this part up perfectly, but you can see where there's some differences. So look over here, if we want to put a shadow shape, it wouldn't make sense. Like up in this crack here, we would want some, you know, shadow shapes coming down. But over here, that wouldn't make sense because it's flat. So we can make it vague and just sort of put some ambiguous like shadow shapes so it won't look as good, and we'll have to think about it. Undo that over here. Now, I thought this would unwrap a little bit better already, but it's not. One thing we can do, or we can just line them up ourselves. One thought is to take all these like thin inside, you know, bevel things, just cut them out. Let's try and just straighten this first. Got all sorts of things happening. Like this, just like going crazy, and like what's even happening? Why is that even? Oh, right here. Should have marked that seam. I meant to. There we go. We'll hit the top, same way. It's a little bit straighter now. Because now I'm just like thinking we could actually want to remove this. Thought I hit it one there too. Anyway. So a few things we could do is just straighten this ourselves. Or even just project it from view. Might just straighten it ourselves. That way we can, because this part can distort. Because the problem here is like it might even show up now. It's going to be mitigated, but oh no, it hasn't at all. See how bright that is? So it's like really stretched and distorted. But those are going to be real simple shapes. They're barely going to show up. Some people would even argue that you should just texture it, but I don't know. The lighting in this game has a strong impact. And, you know, obviously more 3D fidelity is just going to make it look nicer. Anyway, what I'm saying is like that spots, those spaces can be a bit distorted or even a lot distorted. And they'll still show up okay because we're just going to use really plain shadow shapes. We're not texturing anything that needs like fidelity. I'll select, just link select, get that out of the way. I'll grab pizza time. Got pizza time last week. Trying not to order pizza so much. Just got into a really bad habit this year of ordering it every week. It's just so good. At this local place, they're all from like Cyprus or something like that. They're really good. So what we're gonna do is grab. We might even be able to alt right click. Yeah, it looks like we can. So we're gonna alt right click and do S X 0. So that scales along the 0 axis, or excuse me, scales them all down to 0 on the x-axis. And we're going to do that for the next set on the side here. So alt right click, or we could box select. Scale x 0. Did I grab an extra one? I did. Scale x 0, so be careful of that. And it looks really bad right now, but it should get pretty dope in the end. just noticing something. Oh no, it's fine. Never mind. We're good. Good. Okay. It's like big mistakes, but there weren't any. Select these. Scale X0. Good. Pushed in exactly where I want it. The thing is, when you do that, it's like the way it unwraps, it's gonna put them in the right spot. Like it's gonna be real messy at first, but once you get it all, it's like, oh, dope. It's like it all lines up. And we do scale Y0. And you can't just like do it like this. There's like straighten options. Like when we hit W, you can do like straighten Y, and it's like, is this working? It doesn't do anything. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to use it. So, and you can do edge select too, so that might be faster for us. And I'm just hitting SY0 to scale along the Y-axis a bunch. And if you wanted no distortion on these inner edges here, we would cut them out. It's definitely an option for us. Again, it's just going to be so low fidelity. But I feel like the three-dimensional edge is still good and worth it. So just something you have to learn by yourself. So again, the stuff all looks great, but that edge is going to have like a lot of distortion. Or those faces, rather. So here we're almost good. Grab that, scale X0. Pull this out a little bit. Scale Y0, excuse me. Scale X0, my fault, my mistake. That was weird. I accidentally held shift, so I selected more instead of a new select. Here we got a situation. Grab these, and we'll scale them first. Scale Y0, or straighten them first, rather. I think I hit X by accident or something. Now I'm gonna grab it all as a unit. Try and just move it around. Compare it to the real one. Scale it on the Y-axis. I made it worse. Right here is darker, so hopefully that's right. And do it individually. Grab Y. That went lighter. A bit darker. This seems wrong though. It seems like it's. But stretch. Display here does not lie. Like, trust it. Same thing, scale Y0. Save that. Check the chat. Nobody here, it's alright. Put my nose. Ooh, itchy nose. Oh, I know what I'm looking at now. I thought on this one right here, I was looking at the centerpiece, but totally not. It's like that edge piece. Of course, it's going to be thinner. Okay, good, great. Makes me excited. This top part is a bit taller though. It surprises me that moving it up is giving me stretch. Just gonna trust it. Okay, we have those. Ooh, we're all lined up. Ooh, we got a big stretch going on over here. And I remember I was going to address that before. Seems different than what's... Oh. Really? Okay. this matches that angle that we have in there. That's so weird. Just seems so thin. Just pull these in. This song's pretty dope too. No, I got a lighter. Whatevs. So hopefully on this one I can pull it up. And I'll get us darker. I think it worked out. Just a bit of distortion here. I'm almost wondering if I should just re-unwrap it. So we're gonna save it. And then maybe I'll just try cutting out that trim and unwrapping it. It's not trim, but the bevels, the insets. Such a weak tee, I don't understand. Alright, I saved it, so let's just give it a shot. So we're gonna mark those seams. That one didn't let me do it in a loop for some reason. Seam. Unwrap. Excuse me? Oh, right, I forgot. Forgot you. I don't want the face selected though. I have to do it the slow way. It's not that slow. This almost should be textured, but hey, we already went through this. Oh, this is gonna need a little seam in there, or else we get that same effect. So now we have these like straight lines. This is still really... Why? What face is that? It's in the middle, right? That should not be so distorted. Ooh, this is what's doing it. Is that not straight? No, it's straight, dog. Try this. No. Why is that like that? I wonder if it's because I have that weird poly there in Engon. Oh lord. So let's... Engon is not an apt term, I shouldn't have said that. But a knot quad. Pull that up. So now let's split up, unwrap. Totally fixed it. But now I'm like, I should undo all these seams. See what we can get away with. So why did I do this in the first place? Oh yeah, so you do mark seam, and you check mark clear over here, and that'll give you the different option. The reasoning is because this edge right here had a little bit of stretch. It may have been hard to see, but it was there. And it just wasn't easy to fix manually. Let's go back. So now, oh, I need to join these. Forgot. Is this not lined up? Ticks me off. Oh. I shouldn't do that. Ugh, all sorts of problems. This is why you do quads too. The unwrapping goes easier. Oh well. We're about there. This looks really messy, and it is, but it's not that big of a deal. I get it. So, doing link select, just gonna kind of put them how they are. Oh, so now this is just like separate faces. Sometimes I like this, sometimes I don't. Ugh. Sorry. Just thinking now. Should unmark these seams again and just re-straighten it. Huge pain, but why is this rotating all weird now? Double anything. Just wants to be a punk. It was straight before. This part just being a nerd. No, just you. What? Oh, my fault. I had edge select on. I'm gonna throw these to the side because they're on the edges. Scale like 0. I shouldn't do that. Sorry, you know we just did this. Just think it'll be easier to texture this way. Right, so scale Y0, just straightening these out. This should be all clean. That's what done. God, there's still distortion up in here. Raise that up a little bit. Select Alt, right click, scale X0. Go to edge select. Scale X0. Scale X0. Right click, scale X0. Oh, right click. I think I already did this edge, but scale Y0. Another thing I could have done is project from view. Alright, we're going to save it in case this fails, but I like to show both. So we're going to grab and get rid of this C. So we have this projected pretty well. Now we're going to grab these faces, all these front-facing faces. Actually, these ones underneath too. Almost everything, right? Everything but these. So yeah, everything but the tops and sides. But we're also including the little insets. So got that. So we're gonna face it here, get everything in the view. U, unwrap, excuse me, U. I thought it was in the unwrap thing, project from view. So now I have this. And it's about the same, but it should be more perfect. Those are linked together. It shouldn't be. That's bad, I don't want that. It's such a pain. Did I miss a seam, or is it just... You can split these, I don't know how. Oh, that's a bit of a stake I'll have to fix too. It shouldn't even be connected to that. That's weird. Those aren't. Really thought this would go smooth. Is there an option with that? Project from view, correct aspect, scale the bounds, camera bounds. But I don't want these things to, it's fusing my vertices. Oh, Lord. Alright, undo that. Just gonna have to do them separate. It's a huge pain, but it's alright. So B, shift, select these edges. That one should have been selected. It was a mistake. Faces rather, not edges. Project from view. Yay. Can I? Oh, it worked. So I'll right click during face select and let me select those the way I wanted. Undo the tops and bottoms. Deselect, not undo. Project from view. Now there's two separate ones. Those got left out for some reason. Just a simple mistake. I thought I had them. Makes sense that I didn't because I just did all right click anyway. Project from view. There we go. So now it's not perfect quite yet because those edges are totally gone now since we did project from view, those insets. But we're gonna use a sneaky trick. Oh, let me select the other one. Oh, we can do it like this. Oh no, because it's still inside. But we'll just face select it. Scale X. Whoops, excuse me. Scale Y. bring it down a little bit. No problemo. Grab this vert. This vert. Technically it's a UV. Pull it in. Dope. Getting face. Scale Y. Vert select. X. Grab these verts again. Scale X 0, so they're all lined up. So it may seem like a minor thing, but now it's perfect. There should be no distortion except for all those insets. There's a sip of tea there. Ooh, it's getting better. Anybody in here? No, dog. It's alright. Should maybe I'll refresh it just in case. My video. Got a couple peeps in here. Welcome. Ask questions if you have any. Just unwrapping a model here. Listen to some tinge of nerdles. Okay, again, grabbing the space. Scale X. Slightly. Scale Y. It's going to be real minor. But we don't want it too small because we're going to be... And you'll notice that I could even mirror this, like if we were like real desperate. For UV space, but we don't need it. This is the top or bottom. Is this the top or bottom? Something's the bottom, it's the top. Real simple shapes. We do want a little bit more than that, I think. Again, do face select. I do scale on the X and then scale on the Y rather than scaling together because it's going to scale at a weird aspect ratio. Like if I just did plain scale, it's going to do, you know, like this. It's not a weird aspect ratio, it's just the one that... Why did this get all weird? That ticks me off. Whatever. It's because I added that vert, but it shouldn't unwrap like that. Anyway, I'll line that up. This too. What a nerd. Scale X 0. Okay, now we gotta decide if we're gonna share space with those. I mean, we have tons of room. Don't really need to. Oh, I almost forgot a couple things. It's almost tragic, frankly. Select this face. Grab Y. Hidden faces. It's actually real small. Same thing. Face select, grab Y. Double face select, grab Y, bring it all down. Triple face select, grab Y, bring it all down. So it's just these little bevels in here. And we head on up here as well. Grab Y. Should be another just tiny edge there. No, this one pokes out a lot more. Go outside the bounds, we'll fix it. Save that. And I'll grab one of the main goals of when you're doing, you know, putting this stuff in your texture space is to make it as square as possible, which is hard with these long shapes. The reason you want it as square as possible, and what I mean by square as possible is like all them clumped together creates like a general square shape, and then from there you can scale it evenly, and you know, textures are just square. It's just how they are. And you, so right there, I did scale X -1 to flip it. Just need them to be square as well. So they're maximizing the space. Can I? Those are shared, right? Yeah, I could. Yep, linked them. It's cool. So if it finds verts that are like super close together, it'll just like link them. I don't know if link's the right word. So now I have to decide if I want to lay that on top of it. Because I really feel like one of the main focus points of this thing is, you know, this big thing here. So we're gonna drop an edge in here, a seam, excuse me. How do we do that? One way to do that is grab all these faces. It's gonna be its whole separate thing. A to grab all that, move it over, select everything. So now that got split. So now this can be bigger. It's just so vertical that, like, and this is like a real important shape. It's gonna be all tiny, but like in our scene, that homie is gonna be right up in our face. It's like right here. So we gotta make it, give it some more texture space. So now it can be pretty huge. Thinking about doing that with these two things as well. This is getting a little bit disjointed, but I think it's for the best. Because now, the problem is just that this is so tall and skinny. I could split them down the middle or something, but now I can make this a lot bigger. Really maximize that. Scaling uniformly, by the way. What you want to do. And there, I like to leave gutters on my textures in between everything. There's options to, you know, constrain it to the UV or the texture bounds, but it kind of gives you weird behavior sometimes. Like it'll scale unevenly and you'll just decrease distortion and you have to go and fix it. It's annoying. Now, what I should have done was scale this with it first, but we'll be fine. So this is the inside one, so we need this to match up. Okay, I was way off. It doesn't have to match up, but we want it to. Fits right in there, that's lucky. This one goes with this one. Is that one really that much bigger? No. I mean, it is bigger, but why does that? Oh, because this just has more room to scale up, so that's not even even. Ugh, running into things. What I want to do is cut it down the middle and totally redo this. Lord. Y'all are gonna hate me. We'll give it a shot. Let's undo that. Save it. Give it a shot. that. Troll heart here as well. Oops, go back to median point, scale Z0, open that up. So now these are like split down the middle, and now I can like pull them apart. This could be a quad now. You're a quad now. A bunch of new faces, so there's weird stuff going on. Plain unwrap. Well, excuse me, what happened? Really, that's quite strange. Why did it unwrap like that? Did I do project from view? Yes. So, back to here. So what did I do? Why did I do that? It's because this thing is so tall. I want to be able... You know, I want to be able to do this, mark seam, unwrap. But then, working these two as separate, it's like, no good. Okay, I think the compromise... Ugh. Is to only do it here. Still worry about this though. Man, this became complicated for some reason. Well, the reason is because it's so tall and skinny, and we're losing out on texture space. I have to think for a moment. Ugh. Sorry. Coffee left over from this morning too. I'm gonna hit that up. Ooh, it's bitter. So I can split this up, but I don't like the idea of splitting this plane. Like, it's just one plane. It doesn't need to be split. That is a problem. I could do something gross where, like, I make it unsquare. I'll close this without saving. Put it back up. Good. So it's back where we were. And it's like... just less stretching. I think you just gotta deal with it. I think this is the best way to do it. It shouldn't matter too much. I mean, again, this will be there. These are thin enough shapes that the interest will be there still. Are these about the same width? They're pretty uniform. So do L. That one we want big. This one. Hey. okay. I'm mostly happy with that. Just trying to think, are there too many assets that I'll have in here that can share this texture? I'm sure there's gonna be some. Alright, we'll just start lining these up too. They should be about the same size. Well, exactly the same size. Alright, close enough. Still stuck on this issue of like, should these match up? Because yes, they should. Really, just this top part. Maybe that part could just be different. I could do something kind of ugly. Go like this. Actually, we should spread this one out. It distorts it a lot. Oh, because we don't have quads in there. I'm running into all these tiny problems I had thought about. Just seems like such a waste of space not to do it. Well, since this one is more slide that in. It's looking okay. We have to do one more dumb thing. We'll line them up too, but confused. So it's that one. What's that, right? Why did that not? That was weird. Okay. So if we're getting real dumb with this, scooch this down. I gotta think for a sec to make sure this adds up. I would need to scooch it down more. So then we can have some shadow shapes up here. It's only distorted a little bit on here, and we're not even gonna see it. Really, that distortion doesn't really show up, and we can try to even some of it out. Here's some dirty tricks I'm doing. I did a lot of this sort of nonsense in like the main character's character model. And I'm working out okay. I probably didn't need to do it. I could have there's just better stuff I could have done. Do remove doubles UV. Lower that. It's too many of them are poking together. So, 5. Looks good. Here's some of the stuff I wanted to correct. Push that back. Yeah, that's alright. You can fix the UVs if that's bad. Try and remember to check that place first. This one's a big important piece. It's a room here. These are really unimportant. It's gonna be similar values and stuff. Getting real dirty. Just gotta remember to make sure we got the right direction and everything. Save it. There's not gonna be much difference in here. Hope this turns out. I really like this asset, and I can re-unwrap it. I would, if I ever have to redo the stuff, I'd start over or do it, you know, off stream. But it's looking pretty cool. I think it'll match really well. Excited to, because inside this area, this dungeon is like, at least parts of it are going to have more of this sort of motif. It's going to be some open sort of like balcony type looking places, but with this motif, and it's a good start. It's a good transition. I mean, it was always meant to be up in this sort of situation too, but it's good to see that, you know, they can transition with it too. Oops. Okay. Now if a really dilly unwrap. Ooh, itchy head. So let's save it again. Select all those UVs with A. Export UV layout. Trim 2 UV. Opacity 0. Really wish that would stay 0. Looking for it in Unity here. And drag it into Photoshop. Sometimes this works. Good. Control Shift New. New layer. We want it on. Yeah, I think layer 0 is the UVs. That's the UVs. Got 25%. Unlock it. And do true neutral 128, 128, 128 right in here. RGB. 100% paint bucket. Save it. Same name, minus UVs plus text. My naming convention. Doesn't matter too much, just helps me remember. And then the blender. Open that same thing. Goth. Trim to text. Delete the camera, delete the lamp, the texture view, so it showed up. Control S to save. Jump into Unity. Kablam! Changes the shader every time though. Kablam! Also has a little bit of gray because that's what the standard shader does. Slightly gray. It makes me wonder if I should try doing... No, it would be really blown out. Anyway, sometimes I feel like just a little bit lighter gray just ends up working out better, and it might just be my style. So, we're in there. Alright, let's tweet it out real quick. Just finished up a tumultuous unwrap, and we're ready to texture. twitch.tv/CultureTechStudio Kicks. Yeah, really that unwrap shouldn't have been so brutal, but it happens, dog. It's looking cool, though. Looking real cool. So, standard stuff. Seen it before. I'm gonna grab this shadow color. New layer. Gonna block in as much as we can first. 100% opacity. We go bam. Grab all that. Some of these are front facing. I shouldn't have done that to this one. But these are all side facing. These are all side facing. This is a lot of this front facing. Oh, this is this is actually upward facing. We'll lighten it later. What else is side facing? Well, these are. I'm just gonna go all the way down. I'll add the light later. It's just because I'm using a square. It's hard to. I can't get that bevel shape with the square. This part's so rad. Is there underside facing? Side facing. Control S. Look at that volume. Whoops. Wasn't thinking. I knew it like right when I started. I was like, it's not quite right. Grab the front-facing color or value. It's not really color. Gray's not a color. Well, they're kind of all colors, right? Some would say no. Some would say yes. Those out. So thin. I hope it ends up working out again. It's just we lost so much fidelity on this last piece. I don't want to run into that again. S, hit it up, boom, barely noticeable. It looks pretty good. Just getting an unlit one. Control D, woo! It'll be cool to line up with this too. I haven't checked that out. Line them up side by side. So cool. That riff there, it's so dope. In the music, I mean. Yeah, that's cool. Doubled up. That even looks pretty sharp. It's going to be a good asset to have. So, leaving in, we have laid in those basic shadow shapes, the midtones at least, and then midtones not the right word, but kind of midtones. Mid-range shadows, let's say that. Then we're going to do some darker shadows. Just drop it down a little bit. Do a new layer, it'll be easier to delete it. There. 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 Actually, one of these is the top. Was not thinking. Let's see. One with the two thin rectangles is the bottom. So now I kind of regret putting all these together, but it won't be that big of a deal. Save it. We'll look at it. eraser, 100%. Get rid of that noise. Get that noise. Whoop. There's some stuff I didn't mean to. More mistakes were made. This is a top-facing plane. This is a bottom-facing plane. This one I knew was bottom-facing, but that top one was like, oh yeah, it's on top. Oh no! Mistake in here. Something got not unwrapped. Ooh. Darn it. What did I do? So, grab that plane. That shouldn't look like... I mean, that doesn't look... Shouldn't be any problems there, dog. Oh, wait a minute. Might just be that our texture is compressed. Please fix. Okay, yeah, there's a problem there. It seems so wrong. Why would... Should be any distortion. Dude, this unwrap has been a nightmare. Because that's a like a straight up certain kind of look sort of distortion situation. That's not. Join these. Oh yeah, there's a mistake in here. Why? It's saying that there's like... I don't know. It's saying there's like no stretch. Like this has more stretch, but this obviously is fixing it. Sure, there's something to that. What? Let's grab the weird stuff. Hmm. Hopefully that's good enough. I actually remember saying that I should mess with this stuff first to make sure it's working out okay. So, I'm gonna start adding some gradients. I haven't done my white highlights yet, but whatevs. Doesn't matter too much. So we're doing that. Going black with the gradient tool. Put it about 20%. It's already there. Do one of those. See how it treats us. Looks fine enough. What is my texture setting? 512, really? Is that catching light? So it's like way darker in the middle, I don't understand. Ugh, I've given myself a bunch of headaches. I might redo this. I went with all that effort. It just seems like such a waste to not. We'll just check real quick. Hmm. I mean, it looks fine. Sorry, that was like a long time of silence, but it's just like, huh. Huh. Now, just realized another thing that's gonna mess it up. So, I'm gonna redo it. Ugh. I'll move these around too. Select these faces. Select these faces. Project from view. I should have done that earlier. But I don't want them lined up anymore. It does seem so wasteful, but it's just like... it's not working out. If this one was cut right here, I could. Cursor selected, scale 0, Scale Z0, excuse me. Join. Select all those faces again. Side view. View. Contract from view. So what did I do there? Well, I made it so this part at least can share texture space. Let's see, they're different. This one's still wider though. I'm running that same problem. Oh my god. This shouldn't be so hard. What I should do, let's not worry so much. Make it separate. God, this just got like real boring. Sorry. I'm getting weird distortion that I just did not expect. So it's cheesing me off. Almost done. We got a few more songs. Let's do. Just so. Yeah, why not? Well, it's like more of that, but no, it's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Sorry. Sorry, I need to think of another moment. That got real boring. I'm real sorry. I'm just thinking, like, should I just make this modular already? Maybe. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have this separate stuff. Okay, I'm just going for it. Not doing a modular yet. Making a modular is easy, so that's not really like a good solution. I just see all this texture space and it's like... kinda goofy to not reuse it. But, oh well. Normally I'd sneak those in there, but we're not gonna. Oops. Just match it out with what it would be with the view. Sweet. Alright, well that was, I don't want to say a waste of time, but kind of. Sometimes you just gotta learn. Now that these aren't sharing texture space anymore. course that happened. Alright. I really have to sub though. Oh my god, I can't win today. Oh, it's just such a wasted vert. Not doing anything. I really don't have the patience to unwrap it right now. Again. There's gotta be a way to easy do this, right? Why does it cause such a catastrophe? What all effed up? Just that one thing? Okay, that's fine. It's fine, hopefully. We haven't been very lucky today. It's like, hey everybody, we're gonna be texturing now. No. No. Alright, save. Please export UV layout, opacity 0. It's not snapping accurately. Huh. Don't remember redoing those. Yes, I did. I just moved it. I literally just moved it. Didn't I? No. I did scoot it over, though. That's my own fault. Alright. Whatever. We're going to start over on some of this. Or just scooch it. We should be able to scooch it. Scooching these over. Control arrows. Goodness gracious. Of course that's not a new layer. Whatever. Na, 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 na. Maybe y'all like seeing me get defeated too, so hopefully that's fun. Get defeated. It's gonna merge these, not a big deal right now. Big ol' shadow shape. Should be able to do that now, which is nice. Which are the bottom ones? Two skinny rectangles are the bottom ones. Top one, go slightly lighter. Slightly less. It's sloped. Okay. glorious miracle. Alright. Man, what a pain. Ooh, arms are sore. Delete these LDBs, we hate them. Hate's a strong word, but I'm kind of mad at this thing. The soundtrack's not doing it for me either. Well, I'm not gonna sit here search for music, but I am thinking of new stuff to listen to in a second here. Okay. That will be kind of a pain again, but really, we gotta save texture space somewhere. Can I, like, be real dirty about this? Like this, grab some black, 20%. We're doing, you know, inside out sort of style. I don't know what it's called. Let's see. Does it have a name? It has a name, but I don't know what it is. Well, we're going to do reverse. Da, 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 da. So now, I'm going to do that. So it's a good sort of general gradient, and then we want some really deep in the cracks. The second one is a little too much. We're going to do 10%. Soundtrack isn't doing for me as he sings along to it. That selection there. It's annoying. We will want to do those other edges, but let's do these dark shadow shapes first. Just using the brush tool. I don't need one there actually. Barely noticeable, but looks good. It is noticeable. I shouldn't say that. Alright, more gradients time. So, time for those big shots. Big shot gradient. Go down 10%. Whoops, I reversed on again, excuse me. A little bit there, real dark, just a little bit. This one will pull down a little bit more because its shadows come from the top. Going here too. Pull it out just a little bit more, and then just in here. Give it some definition. Might pull this out more. Oh yeah, I keep thinking, like, I forget that this is doubled. I really need to let's actually start over because their part got too dark. It's pretty dark. Hopefully this looks okay. Ugh, I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like goblins. Guys like Jontron? I do. Let's look at that, see what's up. Just a tricky, kind of tricky spot. But I mean, it's on its way. Hit up this. Do some of that as well. We're going to have a little bit of occlusion here. Mostly it's just to differentiate the edges here. That might even be enough. This one will go darker. Yeah, it's a little too dark on the bottom one. I'm going to do 5%. Go up more. Might even go up more than that total. Oh, we get the bonus of differentiating the edges here. And also just providing variety throughout the whole surface there. Whoops. That looks good. Where else do you see? Oh, underneath this bad boy. The underside a little bit more, just a little bit ways down, just get real dark in that crease. Might be a job for a brush actually. So we're going to do on the bottom as well. Pull it down all the way. Now you can see these should be darker, but we'll also have an outline. Let's do that actually. So shine away from it before, but now let's hit it up. A little bit lower, about 10%. Lower the spacing though, so it will be darker, even though we went lower opacity. Oh no, it's pretty light still. So, redo what I just said. Let's put transfer on maybe. No. 15%. Should be using the mouse. It's really nice. Need a little bit more sophistication, but it's on its way. This just helps to find that edge. Use a soft line. Just looks better. It's looking a little fakey though. Ugh. Did I do a new layer? No. Oh, bummer. That's alright. I might undo that. I mean, we're gonna end up with something that looks like that. It just doesn't look quite right. I mean, it might improve once we do this. So let's do it. That is, bring those lines all the way across. As in, from this edge to this edge. This face to this face. It's the same edge. This edge is this edge. Find a few more of those edges. Actually do it up here too. Going a lot lighter. Yeah, that's this. Fatter and lighter. Should be a good spot for a gradient. Just a real light one. Good, it's already at 5%. Doing better already. So yeah, that softened that edge generally, so it doesn't look so fakey. It looks pretty outliney. I mean, that's what we're going for, but it's just maybe a little bit too much. Probably soften it on some of those. Check it out in the light. Looks better. It's just real sharp in there. We're gonna just smudge it up. looks better. Hit up some more of those outlines. Anybody up in this? Doesn't look like it's alright. Oof, neck. So what am I talking about? Well, I have a bunch of edges we need to define more strongly. Get those up. Down, across, some up in here. Give me a lot more character already, which is great. And again, we're going to do a dark edge and a light edge. We're going to darken this, give it an outline quality, and then we're going to go and add little speculars in there too. And not so little. These are the ones I was thinking of. I guess I get the tops too. Woo! Looks not bad. One of those I made a mistake on. Actually, two. Let's see, does this fix it? The way I want to go. What is the other one? Oh yeah. Okay, good. Only one of them though. Just this one? Nope. It's the other one. Okay. So what had happened is, like, this, it's mirrored right here and I'd forgotten. Delete that. Just carefully smudge some of this over so I don't smudge its neighbors. Fudge it. Delete it all. Because it's not looking so hot. Turn the UVs off, take a glance, much better. Alright, it's looking pretty neat. Suppose we could do this. So we have a gradient coming off of that. I should have just done it stronger. Pretty dark in here. Go 30. Strong brush. Too much. 20, how about? Might even only need 10. Yeah. I should just be using this. Just needed to go darker. There we go. That should be a good fit. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty neat. Do. Time for the Ninja Turtles 1. Let's take it. We're gonna do more of this in here. Just throwing some gradients down. It's gonna let it pull away from its neighbors. It's gonna push it down too. It's a really good way to. If we were doing character stuff, I would show you what I mean exactly. Why it works so well. Should go down so far on the top, apparently. Pretty uniform. Strength 15%. So this is again mimicking ambient occlusion. Oh, I love this song. Oof, just got a pain in my head. You might call it a headache, but it's not like a headache, it's like a tinge. Blood tinge. So we got this right here. And that's butted against some stuff, so it would be occluded a bunch too. Let's go 20%. That's pretty strong, but hopefully it looks good. Yeah, too much. Brought it out too far. Pretty good. What it should do is 10% all the way across. Almost all the way. Just darken it. So having non-linear shading is really important. That's essentially what that is. It's looking good. Sorry, this is like such a catchy soundtrack though. Do that. What did I hit? Is that the right thing I wanted to shade? That was. Right over here, right? Just seemed like it didn't do anything. It's at the unlit one, see what it looks like. Yeah, it's a little weird. Looks better. Weird. Trying to go real thin down here. Just trying to do with the brush, but didn't create the gradient that I wanted exactly. Huh. Looks like barely any different. It's kind of freaking me out. Oh well. More of that nonsense in here. Real talk? I just feel like this doesn't even do anything. Oh, they got darker. That's good. Alrighty. Drop some occlusion in here. I'm overlapping into the inset edges. A, to just be double sure that I get it all in there, but B is, you know, help define the edge a little bit. Yeah, that's it. A and B. So yeah, I can see it's like some fogginess in there, or that ambient look, occluded look. So, still looking pretty boring. We're getting some good occlusion in here, but we need some more sharpness. Contrast. We're gonna do probably do a new layer. This rectangle at 10% and go nuts. Boom. I might even cut out these cracks. Not cracks, you know what I mean, the inside edges. So it's still pulling forward pretty good. This pulls back. It's good. The lit scene's looking pretty dope already. But again, we need more contrast. We haven't even had any surface texture yet. Ooh, we'll see in the scene. Let's rock. That's pretty cool. I might pull that down still. I know it's hard. Because a lot of times, you know, you're seeing it, you're going by quickly. Crazy combat's happening. Combat. I like it overall, though. I am pleased with the shapes, at least. Does look like a doorway, though. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah, you can see those pull out more. It's just that 10% white we did. Gets kind of exponential in the game time scene because of the bloom. I don't hate that. Looks pretty nice. Alright. Just gotta keep working it. Go back in and add black again. Kind of robbed it. Breaking one of my rules. We haven't been going in too hard with the black, but you know I recommend to not go like pure black a lot of the times. But we've been pretty judicious. So nothing's gotten too dark yet. So, but I'm about to go nuts with it. About to do one of these. Should put that on a new layer, just in case I hate it. Basically, it's just going to pull itself from the top there. Let's check them out. We should actually do a couple that are stacked up more. To the heavens! This is dope. I love making tall stuff. It's just another gothic feature. Really tall things. Just reaching towards the heavens till it starts to distort. Just love how it looks. Oh yeah, this is gonna be... This is cool. Just love this already. It's real simple, really modular. It's a successful set of textures, or assets here. So just get a faraway glance. What else to do? There's lots to do, but what should we do next? Guess add more highlighting stuff to find those edges. That seems like the right call, I think. I just want to get in like the bigger strokes first. I try to before I do like, you know, specular highlighting and stuff. And defining edges with that stuff, but I mean we kind of got a lot of that done already. And I see an edge that will just make everything pop if I go for it right now. So what is this crossbar right here? We grab white, and white you kind of want to work at lower opacities, I've found. Again, it might be because of the shader I'm working with, using. It's too thick. Let's zoom in a bit, actually. But here I am breaking that rule. Gonna go a little bit lighter. Block this off. I'm gonna go. Actually, I guess I don't really need to block it off. 4%, really huge. Just adding a bit of a glow to it. A little too much, a little too white. The sound trick's over with already. I like the one coming out, but it's a little too heavy. Just say Kirby's Adventure. I wanted to do an intro, like Kirby's Adventure, but it's how to draw Sans from Undertale. It would be fun. Like in that style. So it's like a little too rounded. Probably because I put that gradient on there. I thought this would go more smoothly. Switch to a hard edge. So let's do 20, but put transfer on. Bleed up a little bit into this. You kind of want to go over to the other edges, but you kind of don't. It's good to get a balance, essentially. You can see I'm like effing up the edge here. Sometimes you want that, like you want the glow to really come out, but let's try and just stay on our own side here. It's looking pretty good. Na. I love Kirby games. Looks good, looks real good. That was like a really good, just lucky stroke there. It just looked in the really perfect position. And we're going a little bit lighter. I'm going to put the upward facing speculars just a little bit brighter. And I'm actually going to do some downward facing ones. It doesn't make sense, but it gives us contrast. So it doesn't make naturalistic sense, I guess. The light wouldn't normally catch like that. Move on down. Same thing. Here's that situation where we have the black and the white working together to give us that illustrative quality. You're going to hear me say that a lot, but also to find those edges and be naturalistic. Style I like, probably use my whole life. So yeah, didn't make it pop as much as I thought. It's kind of thin. We got 2, yeah, that's a tiny line. You don't want them too thick though. Don't know why that happens. Just new Windows updates and fudging things. Go to that low opacity, bigger brush, soft brush. Just put some glow in there. Just on the real bright ones. Do it real faintly on the not bright ones. Just gives it a bit of glow, like light's really hitting it. Oh yeah. Might be hard to tell there, but it's looking sharp. So, that looks good. What next? I guess just keep doing that on everything. Go back to a hard brush. 20%, bring it down. Pull the UVs up actually. I undid that there because this one went out a little bit too far. Normally I would let that slide, but I'm really trying to, like, you know, eliminate those brush stroke looks. And that was causing a lot of that. Whoops, let's do it again. Actually, it's showing up right here. Smudged out of existence. Y'all watch Super Best Friends? Let's Play crew. They just use a lot of Kirby music. Well, there's like one Kirby song they use. And I'm like really conflicted about it because they're great. But it's just like this piece of unoriginal like content that they use. Not just unoriginal, but almost like stolen. It's funny they brought it up recently. Anyway, I love those dudes, but really conflicted about that. I mean, I love Let's Plays. I mean, they are a thing that should just happen. They have every right to be doing Let's Plays, but like just using like music just to like supplement it, that's like not your music. That's like, what? This is a real strange topic. It's just, there's not much going on here. I'm just adding the highlights here to the edges. Helps define the edge. Gives it some naturalism. I'm gonna blow this up again. Go soft. 0.5 for 5%. Just laying some glow. Let it glow, baby. Maybe even squeeze some down the middle here. No, that'll show up in the brush stroke. Ooh, it's going along. It is coming along. Oh, the outside edges. I knew like there was something different about this one. I was like, what am I? Can't believe I almost forgot that. So, this is basically the logic I'm using here for these edges. You know, it's like if it's a front-facing edge with, or a front-facing face with a side or rear-facing, a face that is, you know, angles away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like this one's inset, so the one next to it right here, you know, the angle sort of flies towards us, you know, the edge. I wish there was a way to describe it better. But it's real easy to understand. It's not like this complex thing. I just wish there were words for it. Again, a big part of this stream is to help others, but it's also just to really start talking about process and how and why you make decisions as an artist as you work in your process, because it's something that's rarely covered, and I think it's really important, and it was just something told to me in college that I really agree with. One of my instructors, although I can't remember what instructor it was. I want to say it was like my favorite one, but it could have been this other girl that I didn't like. But she was smart. It was hard. She didn't like me. She did it first, and then started giving me horrible, horrible grades. And I remember the last class I had with her. This is one of my favorite stories from college. It's terrible. Dude, that's looking so good. I'm sorry. But just real simple. But that went a long way. I could probably go a little sharper with those highlights. We should, real quick. Let's do it. Don't stop. Just do it. So I was in this installation class. If you don't know what installations are, they're just big art pieces, artworks. They're often installed into a place or a location. It was pretty cool. She had made some bold claims, the teacher, that we would have like more access to This isn't 100% her fault, but you know, campus and be able to use the spaces and do some cool stuff. But that ended up not happening. What face is this? I think they're all downward facing. Wouldn't hurt to put some highlights there. Wouldn't hurt to put some highlights on this bad boy though. Same situation. It's like just the top of that stuff we were just working on. Anyway, installation class. You know, the teacher was like liking me less and less. Like my previous class got a really bad grade in it, even though I thought I did great stuff. She just found ways to give me bad grades. Anyway, installation class. There's a statue on campus where I went in Wyoming, University of Wyoming, with Ben Franklin, and he's like holding a key, kind of like, you know, just out in one hand. And I had want to build an arcade cabinet there, like, you know, he was tending an arcade cabinet, and it was like the only project I was excited about in that class. All the other ones were like, we were forced into a location and they weren't very exciting. And the second project was a group project that I didn't like very much. Oh god, it's one of my favorite songs. So anyway, I was like, yo, I need permission to use this space. And she's like, don't worry, I'll get you permission. Like, just start building like your thing. And I didn't trust her. I didn't like her. I didn't trust her, so I didn't end up doing it. And then she, you know, these were long projects. We only did 3 projects, and we had this, or you know, it approached like the deadline. We only had like a week or so left, and she's like, yeah, you can't have that space. They won't let you do it. And I was like, yeah, I know. I had a feeling, but I hadn't been working on anything, and she knew it, and I don't think she really cared, other than she wanted to see me fail. I know that sounds horrible, but if you knew this person, anyway. So what I did is the night before, you know, our projects were due, I just add more highlights here to this edge. And there's the art building. They have a new building now, but in the art building that we were in, excuse me, sorry. There's this wall with a huge grid of like giant tiles. They were really big and they were like rocky. I'm gonna draw it real quick. You know, just like a big grid like this. And I did that the stupidest way possible. They were uniform though. Let's start over. This is what I meant to do. You know, just huge tiles on the wall, but they were real rocky, and they were recessed unevenly though, but they were huge tiles that, like, well, I guess I'm exaggerating here, but like maybe 3 feet by 3 feet, maybe even bigger than that, on this super huge tall wall. Like this great room, like right inside of the building, was giant, just really big, really wide, really tall. And so what I did is, like, I went up on this huge ladder, and I was super tired. It was like the middle of the night, and it took me forever to do it. But I had cut out colored paper, and I did Mario from, I guess it was actually from Mario 1, like not even Mario Brothers, or Super Mario Brothers rather, just on this huge wall. And it turned out awesome, but I don't have a picture of it. It really bums me out. But the great just victory was, like, we went in, you know, that morning, she went in just like knowing I was gonna fail, and she's like, so Tyler, like, where's your project? And I was like, let's go out into the great room. And we go out there, and just like everyone in my class was like, oh, that's so sweet. And I was just like, I could feel her salt welling. Like, she didn't even like say anything, and I just love that story. I know that's terrible, but it was just the perfect way to, like, end my relationship with that person. So, we're just adding highlights in there, and I'm just checking out. I'm just trying to think what to do next here. I did get a little bit sidetracked there. I got caught up in the story. And, Legend, what? IP rights, never heard of them. Destroyed. My man, what's up? I know, right? Well, and that's the thing. It's like, I'm talking about other people using it. I think it's a little bit different because they use it as their theme music, and that's what kind of bugs me. And it's almost what bothers me, even though they're like my second favorite Let's Players. It's that I associate that song with them more than I do with Kirby now. And Kirby's like a huge, like, one of my favorites. Like, I love Kirby. It's not like just some random, like, you know, game series or franchise. So I'm seeing just it's really light right here. I'm gonna darken it a little bit more. Might be the wrong call, but we're going for it. Do a new layer. What's up, Tyler? Not much, my man. Just talking to myself. But yeah, this is looking sharp. This went so much more smoothly. Like, I was so pissed once we were unwrapping, but now this is looking pretty good. Yeah, just gotta define those edges better. Oh, I didn't end up doing it. I think it stopped. I thought I deleted both on this edge here. What is this layer? Did I make 2 new layers by accident? Let's see. Yes, no pixels selected. Yeah, so that is an empty layer by accident. I must have just made 2 layers. So what I'm looking for, layer 7, my man. Grab our highlight again. And so again, we have the dark and the light here. It provides contrast. Again, you know, I hate to repeat myself so much, but I feel like it's important for my style. It's one of the most distinct things about it. That's why I repeat myself about it so much. I have these dark values that's really, or these dark lines that are soft lines. And then I go back in a little bit thinner than those with some specular highlighting. I misuse specular knowingly here. I just find it descriptive enough. Usually speculars just mean like these like super, you know, bright like points like that. But anyway, so we're gonna give definition to these edges here. I really wish I had a photo of that installation though. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Not great yet, but I haven't done much with that. But this is like coming along nicely. Like real smoothly. I don't hate anything about it. Trying to think what we need to do. It is really plain here though. It is really the thing we need to work on next. So I think I'm gonna go below that specular layer. Just mess with the gradients a little bit more. Pull the old top to bottom. And maybe even pull some to the side. Looks okay. What I think I need to do as well. So to get rid of this. Ooh, and a cast shadow up there would look pretty good. We'll go back in and add that bottom gradient. I needed to find this face before, even though I usually do the ambient stuff first. It's just, yeah, that looks better actually already. Yep, do a cast shadow. We'll add some more textural type stuff and get it popping. New layer. Do black. Rectangle. Go about 20. It's gonna be real thin. Let's do 10. And then I don't line them up perfectly. The reason I do that is it just gives a little bit of a blend there. You know, a soft edge basically. So what's hard about this sorts of things is that it can kind of just extend the line rather than like give you like a shadow shape, but you don't want it too huge because it looks bad. Let's actually go 5%. Gonna go huger. Really softening this edge. Bumming me out here. Soften it the old-fashioned way with a soft brush. It's probably best. I don't love how that looks, but this is why I only stole one song. Everything else I borrowed. It's true. Yeah, that is... No one played Asuka. A lot of people played Iwana. Dude, I would love a good Asuka though. And maybe Asuka is fun. But I never even got to play it. But even watching like the few matches, it just seemed like it's just nonsense. So I'm trying to think what to do next. Drop a gradient here, give a little bit of a glow, a little bit of definition. Same situation here, except with black. Working real low opacity. Here is a tricky beast. Because I want to differentiate here. My heart tells me top to bottom. I know it's a flat plane. It should just be flat brightness. But we had gradients for many reasons. And I'm thinking this way. Because usually I do front to back, just as a general rule, it just makes sense. But this, like, top to bottom is also like a fake sort of thing you can do. In this instance, it's just to differentiate, because it's going to be next to the wall, and I already have this black to light, you know, dark gradient coming from the bottom, which I think looks better. And I think that was the right call. Bro, I play with my friends, and we do shit into and out of power loops like one hit and Senga. That is good. That sounds fun. And just like another way to enjoy Guilty Gear, I would love it if they just somehow added like a... And I've been pretty proud of Guilty Gear. P4U, Persona 4 Arena, competition, like the scene, just died down a lot. I think a lot of people ended up finding cliques that they, or certain people that they played with a lot. But I find new good opponents every evening that I play, and a lot of consistent people. I hope people are still enjoying Guilty Gear, man. This is looking sharp. Just not sure where to go next. I'm really focusing, because all this other stuff I have an answer for, I know what I'm going to do, but I need to make this part look sharp because it's going to be up in our grill. Again, I'll probably put some plants on them, but not all of them are going to have plants. Let's see, I wish those were closer. I don't really need to see this in the gameplay scene because the bloom doesn't affect it much when it's unlit. I could brighten that some more, I think. Just that top thing. Actually, probably both of them. %. Boom. And I'm going to hit that one even more. Almost seems unnoticeable. Why is that? Hope I don't have something like on top by accident. Oh, that's the top layer. That was too bright. Stick with that. So, some of that specular highlighting needs to be improved there. So we'll start there. And more specular highlighting when it comes together, it actually looks okay to have like your values overlap because it's more light. You know, light is cumulative. Blow this up, soft edge. Oh man, my spacing was turned down for that, so I looked a little weird. It's not a big deal. 5%. Give me that glow. Oh yeah, that looks better already. Alright, cool. I do need to think of some sort of texture I'm going to do in there. And on the bottom. Looks good though. That looks a lot better already. Those UVs. See what we have. So not much definition under there. Literally none on that. Have I even touched that? I thought I did something on that. No, I've literally done nothing on the bottom there. This guy and that guy. Which way does it mirror? Okay, so this is the front, this is the side. Alright, cool. New layer. Go about 30%. Usually you go lower than that, but let's jam it up. It was real tight with that other asset. It's a little bit dangerous to do that. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Do 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 do. Looking good. Nice and easy. We're gonna do a gradient this way, background to foreground. It's gonna be pretty dark. Might be too dark. Let's do that. It wasn't too dark. Yeah, that looks nice. But I'm gonna pull it more across so the whole thing gets darker. There we go. Glance up like that, looking good. That HUD, no shade, just love placeholder stuff.